does the fur collect the sound better?
I don't know. That's Brett.
Keeps the extraneous sound out better.
So like me opening a bottle of water.
Popping.
Sure.
Pop.
Oh, Billy, nice of you to join us.
Hey, good to see you.
Feel good. All right. Tuesday practice in the books. Good to be in game week 2. Excited to be at home again. 11 a.m. kick will be nice. We don't got to sit around and wait all day like last week. Obviously, we got a great opponent. I think probably we're going to play, if I'm guessing, at least 5 top 20 offenses this year. And this is definitely one of them. So, I've known Jake Spavital a long time, man. He knows how to call offense. I remember we recruited Sawyer Robertson here. He's a winner. Got loads of skill players from receivers to tight ends to running backs, a huge offensive line. So our defense has their work cut out for them. And offensively, we got our work cut out with Dave Aranda and that defense. I mean, Dave, as long as I've been an offensive coordinator, he's been an excellent defense coordinator in our field, just well respected. I really appreciate him as a person. I think he does it the right way. They got a good football team. I know they took a loss in week 1, but if you look at it, they outgained them. They did a lot of things right. The kickoff hurt them, but that was a really good football game against a much improved Auburn team. So we got our work cut out for us in week 2. Excited to be playing at home. Our home crowd's awesome. I think we've already sold out student tickets again, so should be a lot of fun.
They really struggled last week against Auburn's quarterback and kind of stopping his run.
Yep.
Kevin didn't do a whole lot of that, but we know what he can do. How do you see that as saving area?
Yeah, it's funny when people watch games versus see a box score. Auburn ran for like 300 yards, about 150 of it were the quarterback, and probably 3 or 4 times he got out and scrambled, and then there was probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 times he had quarterback powers, including the one at the end for 30, 40 yards. And so I think those chunk plays really, the quarterback changes things in the run game, and that definitely hurt him. And so, to your point, Kevin's feet give a defense trouble. So hopefully that plus our running game can be good this week. We need to take a jump from week 1. At the same time, you look at Baylor, what they did. They limited some of the best receivers in America at about 100 yards passing. So, every game you get in and people are trying to take certain things away, you could tell they had a game plan to take away, 2 or 3 really talented receivers that Auburn had, and they were willing to give up the run, and it almost worked for them. So, every game you get into, what are they trying to take away from us? So, if they play the same way, we have to have the ability to run the football. At the same time, we got to be able to throw it and be balanced. So, week 1 to week 2 is when a lot of teams make big improvements. We have to do that, but I bet they're expecting to do the same.
When the grass came into Ford, this seems like a game where you would feel the difference. 11 a.m. kick early on in September. Is that fair to say? You think that switching from turf to grass could make a difference in this game?
It definitely will. Now, the gods are shining upon us right now because, it's supposed to be in the 80s on Saturday in September. It blows my mind, right? So I won't believe it till I see it. But yes, like in the past, we've had September home games at noon kicks or 2 o'clock kicks or whatever. And that turf, if it's 100 down, and if it's 100 degrees, it's like 115 on the turf. We went out the first Saturday we ever went on it. It's probably 95 to 100 in fall camp. And the guys walked out and instantly said, "Coach, it's 15, 20 degrees cooler." Like, it just feels. So it definitely will help both teams in terms of just the heat. I mean, it's still going to be hot. They're going to be playing a really hard game. So conditioning week 2 and all that will still come into play. But however hot it is, it'll be a whole lot better on that grass.
Do you feel the guys handled the grass well? I know they played on grass before, but on your home turf, so to speak.
I think so. I mean, first of all, it looked awesome. And, Russell Coe and his team do a fantastic job taking care of the grass field. I mean, for our first game on grass, it was an absolute monsoon Saturday morning. There was flash flooding till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the Dallas area. And so I know he was nervous. It rained a lot on Thursday too. So we got a lot of rain in the 48 hours leading up to the game. And by the time we got there for warm-ups, it wasn't even wet. The field drains great. It's prepared great. Nobody was slipping around. So we're excited. I mean, it usually takes a grass field a year to really settle. And, man, it played really great. And so we're hoping for good weather this week and a good track for both teams.
Do you have any injury updates you can provide?
Yeah. Let's see. So, obviously, J. Hud went out and Kilgore went out both in the first quarter. Good news is both x-rays were negative. So there's no long-term fractures or breaks. I'd say they're both day to day, you know, it could be anywhere from best case scenario play this week to a few weeks, and it just everyone heals differently. But as bad as they both seemed at first, they weren't, and that's a blessing for both. So I would say we won't know till Friday if either would potentially be available this week. I'm trying to think. I don't think we had any other major injuries.
Zion went down for a moment, but
Down, it was his good knee, not the old knee, and it was just a contusion. Just kind of got rolled up, scared him for a minute, but he's okay. Well, if there's anybody else you guys are wondering about.
how'd you feel RJ looked, first
Yeah,
get back?
I think it was great for RJ to come out. We wanted to just get him a few drives. He still had 3 catches. It's good for him to play, get tackled. Anybody who's ever come back from a heart injury like that gets it. And so that part's out of the way now. And I still don't, I think he's 100% healthy. He hasn't missed a practice all year. He's been awesome. I mean, he is rehabbed and prepared like a pro. And, they always say the best pros act like a pro before they're a pro. I couldn't be more proud of RJ just this whole last year journey of what he's done to get back. He's probably 85%. I think each week he'll get a little better in terms of just his speed and agility, but in terms of confidence and health, he's good. And so he'll continue to get more each week, we hope. And then another Zion's the same way. That was Zion's first football game in 3 years. I mean, the last time Zion played a game, Coach Justice and I were pretty much coaching at Miami. I mean, he may have played a tad the very next year. So for him to get a few drives, that was a big deal too. So hopefully for those guys, that gives them some confidence and they can continue to increase their volume.
Red Baylor, obviously another old Southwest Conference team. We know that the TCU series, we know where that's
Yeah.
at. You guys have probably played more non-conference games against former Southwest Conference rivals than anyone, but with your guys' new standing in a power conference, does that stuff matter as much? And what is your thought that maybe those games are not going to be around as much, especially looking at the future schedules?
I'll say, yeah. I mean, our game is losing some of the regionality to the TV. Look, I know to our fans it matters. I may be wrong. I don't think we beat Baylor since 1986. And they came here, was it 14 the last time they came here? Something like that. 14 or 16. I think 14 and we went there, and I mean they got after us pretty good back then, right? I mean, this is a new SMU, it's a new day, but we haven't beaten Baylor since anybody on our team was even remotely thought of being alive. You know what I mean? And so so the games matter to our fans because the Southwest Conference, we all know the history of what the Southwest Conference was. So that is important. And then you just think proximity. I mean, from recruiting, a lot of these guys, I always look at it from a player standpoint when you have these games, whether it's us at TCU, us in Baylor, us in Houston. It's more that these guys all grew up playing together and probably were all recruited by similar schools. And so I think that adds to it. I bet our guys have a lot of friends on that team and vice versa. And same thing in coaching. Like I said, I think the world of David Aranda. I think the world of Jake Spavital. But on Saturday, we both, including them, want to win. But I do think you're going to see, it's good for the game. But at the same time, you're looking at the way probably other schools are going. I mean, Baylor just played a great, national game against a team like Auburn. We're going to continue to do the same with the Notre Dames, the Oklahomas, the LSUs. And it's just kind of the new normal in college football now. And if we've learned anything in college football, just wait a few years and who knows what it'll look like. So
How much do you know about the old Southwest Conference?
I know a lot. I grew up in Arkansas, and my first 10 years of my life, it was the Southwest Conference, and I know the history of Arkansas. I know the history of SMU. In Arkansas, when you grew up, it was you with all the Texas schools, and you'd come to Dallas to Union Arena for the Southwest Conference tournament. The Cotton Bowl was the goal. It was the prize. And I remember 88 and 89, Arkansas played in the Cotton Bowl, played UCLA and Troy Aikman one year, played Tennessee one year. And so, those are big deals, right? I also remember 1992, and I remember when the Southwest Conference broke up because Arkansas decided to go to the SEC, and then, Texas, and they went to the Big 12. And so, I remember all that. I remember Arkansas playing SMU when I was young, and so I got great respect for what the Southwest Conference was, all the schools that were part of it. I grew up watching coaches like Grant Taft coach at Baylor. So, it's neat. I mean, and I think that's what makes it good for our fans.
The offensive line kind of shuffled throughout Saturday's game. What did you take away after getting a chance to look at that film? And you feel like you guys are closer to finalizing that group?
Yeah,
It's early though.
I mean, I don't think we really shuffled too much early on. I mean, with Chambly, being out last week and Alex Woods being out, we're still probably a little limited on all the shuffling we can do. I mean, I thought Bates had a solid game at center. I mean, PJ was like the second highest graded tackle in America in week 1. I thought Logan was Logan. He was incredibly solid and reliable. You know, Savion had 2 holding calls. I mean, one was definitely a hold. The other one, I still am looking for it. So, you know, he played better overall. And I think, you know, we know that Addison's, I think, looking to make a big jump this week. So it was good to get Zion in there. It was good to get Nate in there. You got to have 7 or 8 guys, and in the first game, you definitely want to rotate as you get into the season. It's not much more to find continuity; is to get guys reps, get them fresh. It's great to get Draymond and Abel in there because those are 2 freshmen that I think, and you look up to conference or week 5, 6, 7, 8, like they're going to be at a different level, and they're probably going to have to help us at some point this year. So, you know, I don't think you'll see a ton of shuffling just to shuffle. If it is, it'd be to give a guy a blow. Or because I think we feel solid about our guys and who we just got to, we know the areas we got to get better this week as a unit.
What makes Sawyer Robertson and their passing game in particular difficult to defend?
Well, Sawyer's just tough. He's a competitor. I mean, like I said, I remember sitting at the Chick-fil-A with him here and his dad. We recruited him on campus, and he ended up going to Mississippi State, I believe, and then transferred to Baylor and ended up, you know, wasn't the guy they brought in to be the starter and just found a way to be the guy. What he did last year for them was really incredible. And you just watch him even the other night, the toughness. I mean, he was getting hit and he pops up, he delivers the ball. He's a competitor. He can extend plays, he can tuck it and run if he needs to, and he gives his guys chances. He throws with elite confidence, but I think he just gives them leadership, toughness, and edge, and that's what you want at the quarterback position. So make no mistake, we know we're gonna have to beat these guys on Saturday because they're really good, and they're going to be a hard challenge to overcome.
And then, you know, the jump from week 1 to week 2, as far as tackling, how you feel that looked, and then Bryson Washington and what issues he presents for Baylor in the run game.
You know, we had sometimes we didn't tackle great space of the night, but then we had sometimes we did. It's going to be a different thing with these guys. I mean, every position, you know, the slot receiver is unbelievable. I remember Michael Trigg. We recruited him out of high school when I was at Miami, out of Tampa. He's massive. He's a matchup problem like our tight ends are. Their outside receivers are good. Obviously, Bryson Washington and the freshman running back are both really good. And that line is big. I mean, they lean on you. They get downhill. They have the RPO game, which puts you in conflict. They can spread you out really, really wide and get those one-on-one matchups and get the ball in space. And so I think tackling in space is going to be huge for both teams. And so you do hope week 2, now that you played a game, you know, even the older guys, the Zays in the world, like that, they'll be crisper in week 2 and tackling in space. And I expect us to be.
Anything else?
All right.
Thanks, man.